Hey guys, it's a very nice sunny day, but it's also really windy, and the wind is not necessarily that warm right now. But I went for a walk with the babies anyways. There's a guy we're working with his tractor there, so it's really loud. Sorry. Usually when it's windy it's really loud anyways, but it wasn't windy that much when I was coming out. And the babies are sleeping. They're really cute and their hairs are moving. I hope they're okay. I hope they're warm. Oh, my sweet potato. My sweet potato. Last night I was thinking, you know how when, like, you moms probably will relate to what I'm talking about. Oh, it's really windy. I'll try to speak loud and close to the phone. Sorry if you have to see my face. I cannot really see right now on the phone because the sun is on my face and this pink is reflecting on the phone, so I always see this gap. Sorry. But I was thinking, you know when you have those days when you did really well with, like, you planned out the day, what chores you're allowed, the weather allows you to do, bedding outside, baking stones outside in the sun, washing the rest, getting all the laundry, managed to put everything out and have enough space for it for 7 people and stuff. So, and then you go shopping and you get all the stuff that you need, like good deals and stuff like that. And like when you're on the top of your game, when you have those days, don't you feel like a winner? It's like you want to dance it out at the end of the day. You're like, yay, I did it, kind of thing. Yeah. And how do you know that is the day when you're on the top of your game? How do you know when that day is like a really great day for you, that you accomplished everything? Yeah, you got it. It's when you have the opposite, right? When you had such a wimpy day where you want to be with the PJ on and don't bother me anybody, I'm just gonna get by with the baby or the kids today, just about. Oh, it's cold, it's chilly. So my point was, you have those days, those great days, and then you compare them to those that are not the worst, but like, when you have like grumpy weather and you feel under the weather, or like you have a headache or something, you feel dizzy today, you don't feel like energy enough to go exercise the way you planned. Like yesterday, for example, I did the T25 with the alpha videos to start with. It's not the beginning of the week, but it was my first video. And then today I didn't feel like that. My head kind of like feels a little bit light today. So I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, and try to drink enough water and stuff. But when you have those days, you can't really do much, so you don't. And anyhow, so I was thinking, just hear me out, okay? This is just like what I think. That's my opinion. So when you have a lot of those days where you feel you're at the top of your game, you feel great, right? It's like everything in this world works in your favor, kind of thing. Like things just happen and you're so grateful for all the blessings around you, like the great weather, the kids are doing good at school, you kind of have like a good relationship with your family and friends, and yeah, that's all great, but like something happens, boom, and you're like reminded, oh yeah, I remember I have one of those days too. But think about it. How about if it's the other way around? How about if most of your days are kind of like a bummer, and every once in a while you feel like, oh my gosh, it feels so good to feel like accomplished and on top of my game, things are working my way. How many of you guys feel like, you have to find a balance of those, like you have to have enough of those days and of those days, like it cannot really be perfect every day, right? But like, what if most of your days are like crappy? And what happens, it's like, what happens to a flower, to a plant you have in your pot in your house, if you just let that plant live or exist without the proper sunshine and the proper water? What happens? It withers, right? And I think it's the same with a human being. I think it's the same. You just leave that being, that human. There are two outcomes out of it, I think. One is that human being loses the identity. It loses the reality of who you are and what you want to be and what's your potential. And the other is, and you get depressed eventually. And the other is you keep fighting and you keep fighting it and you keep fighting it and you keep living no matter what. And you just keep being that wall that the waves beat on, and you don't let those waves smash you and crush you and crumble you into pieces. I think that's really crucial. So and then you can go from one to the other. You could have days where you're depressed and nothing works your way. You feel you're worthless and nobody cares about you, or you don't want to bother others kind of feeling. And then you could go to like, oh, but then I still have some strength and some hope that I can pull through this part of my life and eventually get out of that situation and move on. So, and then that little ray of hope that appears makes you continue to fight or exist or just be. And that happens usually to people who live in stressful situation, like stressful kind of like not in the environment that they wished for, or not how they hoped their life would turn out. Like me, for example, completely not how I felt or how I imagined it. Even in my bravest dreams, I never imagined I'll end up here. But for better or for worse, it is what it is. And I'm a fighter, not a firefighter. That was a joke between me and my kids, by the way. It was really funny. Just like the may the fork be with you. So yeah, I think it just was one of those kind of like open your eyes kind of personal enlightenments, I would say, that I came to yesterday or last night or whatever. So it is what it is, you guys. You can't have it all great, can't have it all wonderful, can't have it all always like, oh yeah, I'm on top of my game at home and in my career and in everything. Yeah, can't have it all, that's for sure. And it's up to us, up to you, and up to me how we try to balance it out. And I'm freezing right now because I had no idea it's gonna be so windy. It's cold when we're out in the garden with the babies, just for a little bit for them to move around their bodies. It wasn't that windy, but right now I'm freezing. Like, I need my jacket, my winter jacket. It's sunny, all right. It's really sunny, but not warm. I'm gonna hurry home now. But just think about it. Think about where you see yourself within the next 5 to 10 years, and what do you want to accomplish in those years, and who do you need to connect with? What do you plan? Put it down on paper. Make the big steps, and then start drawing the image in your head, and then start writing down the smaller steps that you can take every year, every month, every week, every day. And don't forget that in all that, you have to put God first, because I believe He's the one that knows the best for you and I. And sometimes we don't like what He sends us to be or do, but I think ultimately He knows us better than we know ourselves. Whether you are whether do you believe in a supreme power watching over us or created us or not, it is what it is. That's how it is. Whether you like it or not, whether you think you're like popped up like that from nowhere and came here to have this meaningless life and die and that's it, or you believe that you came from somewhere and you're going elsewhere, it's up to you, but it is what it is. That's how it is. So He is in charge, you guys. I have learned that in various ways, and I believe there are sometimes moments in your life where you have to stumble. You have to get down on your knees and say, okay, I can't do this alone. I can't do it anymore. I don't like it. I don't want to be where I am. I don't want to be who I am right now. I want to change. I want a new start. Give me the power and the energy and the willingness and the determination to be the person you want me to be. So how can I be in a better position to help the rest of the human beings around me, not just think about me and the I inside of me. So yeah, I think the moment you forget about yourself and you start caring more about the other people around you, that's when the change of heart starts, and that's when you open your eyes and you can see the different, with a different lens, the world around you. Okay, I don't want to end up in that field. Sorry, had to maneuver. Okay, no wind. If there's no wind, it's really nice and warm. But when the wind comes. Ooh. Anyways, so that's that. I think that I'm not pointing fingers to anybody. It's just me. I'm venting here, right? Sit down, evaluate myself, see what I have accomplished, see where I am, what am I, what do I want, so that I can help others. Just like I told you before, in all my business classes that I took in my university, tourism management, hotels, how to run the business, accounting, all those. There's this one class I remember because it was a teamwork, you guys. There was this class I took. That was one of the core classes. You have to take it. And they team you up. And we had in our team, we had American, Hong Kongese, a girl that was American, but married to a British guy. Our group, like one of the guys was in the military before school for a few years. And so they were we were diverse. And we had to come up with a business plan and actually sail it out and see if it works. So we did gift baskets because it was more towards, I believe, Christmas or something. Yeah, it was more towards Christmas. So was it? I don't know. There was some kind of holiday coming up. So it was a gift basket with soap. So they give you like a certain amount of money and you have to get your supplies and sell it out and make more money, So we did that. But I remember, I don't remember if we were successful or not. See, I don't remember that, but I remember we were gathering together. We were wrapping baskets and after 10 p.m. at night, because we all have work and homeworks and research papers to work on. And so we would gather in one of the people's apartments, and we'll just wrap up nice baskets, and we'll have assigned a person to, for this much time I can go at the stand and wait and sell, and then we'll change, another person comes, and so forth. So it was like a teamwork. And but the professor, I don't remember his name anymore, he was a cool guy, he was full of life, and he just comes into the room, and there's this charisma coming out of him, and he was like saying, you guys can be like the best, you can be the best person of ideas, you can be like, you can have brilliant ideas all you want, you could have all the money in the world to supply an idea of a business, you could be, I mean, you could be this genius, but if you think about only to profit yourself, not gonna go anywhere. Because how business is done is you reach, he was always saying, when you go back to your countries, think about to how can you help your community, how can you help with the situation there, so that they can pick up the economy and they can get better, and then you can, you know, also be part of the profit too, because, you know, having a profit is important, otherwise you cannot keep running your business. You need but what you need is, you need people who trust you and want to work with you, people who see that what you're doing is not to profit yourself. People can feel it, people can see it, it's not that hard. So how can you make the environment, the community that you live in, be better, become better, rise up, level up? So that's what I remember, you guys. That's all I remember. I had really great professors, really great classes, enjoyed so much. Everybody had a different way of communicating information with us, and I really enjoyed it. But this one class I remember the most, because it's the core of your being, you know, like, we're not supposed to be here born, first of all, you're born in a family, in a unit, so that tells you something. You cannot just like, if you guys have seen this animation, I really love it. I didn't grow up with it, but like when I was in Hawaii and I was pregnant, and I towards the end I didn't have work anymore and had to wait for husband to finish, and pregnancy was, so I was like watching TV all the time. So Phineas and Ferb, I was watching Disney Channel with Phineas and Ferb like crazy, like a kid. Instead of popcorn, I was eating baby carrots, so don't judge. I was pregnant, right? So anyways, Phineas and Ferb, so now my kids are watching it on Disney Channel all the time, and it's like really engaging, really cool story in the animation all the time. So, you know, how they try to spend their summer days wisely, and then their bigger sister tries to bust them every time. But anyway, so there's this Doofenshmirtz, right? Doofenshmirtz is the guy that always creates something nader, and it has a self-destruct button, right? And then Perry's the platypus is the secret agent. But like, I like when Doofenshmirtz, he always creates his nader, something nader, because in his childhood something happened, right? And so he holds grudge and hatred towards that certain thing or those certain people. And he hates his brother, who's the mayor of the city, and you know, stuff like that. But there is a story that I always laugh at when I see that episode. He said, neither my mother or my father showed when I was born. And so they show in his memory bubble how the doctor's holding him, and there is no mother, no father. It's just like the doctor's holding him, like yeah, that is really fun and clever. That's really funny, because that's not how it works with humans. So neither my father or my mother showed up when I was born. So that's how poor guy he is, like how unfortunate he is. And so I can hear music. The kids are eating lunch. in the elementary school. Anyway, so back to my point. We are not meant to exist alone, and those who want to do it, that's fine with that. If it works for them, that's fine. But I think that's very rare case, especially if you're like I mean, you read about those guys who, like the guy who first took a picture of a snowflake. We googled that guy, information about him with my kids, because we wanted to Google like how the different shapes of the snowflakes, because they say no two flakes look alike. They are different shapes and they're very unique, just like our fingerprints. So we googled about him, and I remember I was saying for that guy that because he was so mesmerized by his work, he just kept taking photos and photos and photos and millions of photos of snowflakes that he puts on black clothes. We're talking about like back in the day when pictures were just black and white, and the camera was like this huge box, and the guy goes behind and puts a cover over his head. Remember? Yeah, that time. And so he was so mesmerized by that beauty and that information, so he just spent how much, 35 years or something? What was it on Google? I don't remember. So he never married. That's the bottom line. He just ended up living with his mom in the house, and when she died, he just kept going, and then eventually he died. Probably no posterity, no nothing, it's just him and his passion about snowflakes. So there are people like that, and it's okay, it's fine. But like, I think as a humanity, we were meant to be just like the animals, you guys. The animals are never alone unless they're now feeling like they're gonna just go soon, so they just depart from the herd or the pride or whatever and just leave. But we are supposed to learn social skills. We're supposed to find ways to live together, communicate, but not together. I mean, like, everybody in their family unit, but like, we're supposed to make things work, and they don't. Most of the time they don't, and that's okay. We still learn. This life is a process and development and tests after tests after tests, and when you fail, get up and you keep going, and that's how it is. You're given this chance to make this place around you a better place by bringing new life even to this world. Like, I have 5 beautiful children, you guys. I look up to them. They're so amazing. I do yell at them, and last night instead of good night I was like, shut up, everybody's after 9:30, blah blah blah. But that's how we say good night last night. I mean there was no good night. It was really not nice. But bottom line is, like, we are to help, uplift, nurture, recognize, praise, and be grateful for each other. And that is hard. Especially when you put the me and the I at first. The first in front of you. It's like, me, my wants, how about me, what's there for me? Like, when you start asking those questions, yeah, doesn't end up very well. Maybe for some does. Like, that there is a reason why there's like mafia and secret combinations and secret societies and underground blah, and I guess they can do it somehow. But people who try their way out of it, they end up either emotionally crushed or killed somewhere. So it is what it is. I think goodness prevails in this world. Goodness prevails. There are more good people with good intentions than bad. So the media, the conspiracies, they always follow the bad news, the shock, the stress, the fear, because that's what makes them sensational. That's what makes them, people follow them and listen to them and worry and fear. And yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, so just keep counting your good days when you're on top of your game, when you feel like a winner. Just every once in a while say, good job, today you did good, to yourself and to those around you, because they tried and you tried. Have a good day. Bye.